If there is a quarterback that fits best in the Vikings offense, who is it?
I'm also giving them Drake Maye, but in this situation, I'm playing him. It's a much better situation. And there's a few reasons for this. I think he's a great play-action quarterback, uses the middle of the field, and perhaps most importantly, he loves attacking and giving his receivers chances to win. Now, at UNC, those receivers let him down quite a bit. Will not be a problem with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson. This offense, to me, would be bombs away, and that's even without getting to the athleticism factor and how I think Kevin O'Connell would use it in his offense.
Yeah, it's a good point, too, that we're probably not giving Drake Maye enough credit. You were talking about that earlier, Field. Let's go to New England, though.
That,
Number 3 overall. Reminder, they did bring in Jacoby Brissett this offseason, so there's a veteran QB in place if they want to go that route. But, Dan, who makes the most sense fit-wise for the Patriots?
Yeah, okay, so if they're going to stay at 3, there's a couple quarterbacks that make a lot of sense. I'd say number 1, J.J. McCarthy, and number 2, Drake Maye. Here's my thing. Don't play him. And Drake Maye, I just talked about sit. Drake Maye, you have to grow and develop. I've mentioned that with Jordan Love. New England is not capable of supporting a young quarterback play-wise. They're not good enough on their offensive roster. And so no matter who New England takes, whether it's 3 and they take one of those young studs or they drop back and still take somebody, I just believe that this roster needs to get rebuilt before they play that young player. Alex Van Pelt comes over, offensive coordinator. He's got shades of this Shanahan and Sean McVay and Gary Kubiak tree. So I do like that. I just don't believe that that's a place where you rush the quarterback play early on.
I would agree because the weapons around them are amongst the most, probably the worst in the NFL, or at least in the conversation. What I don't understand, I think the Patriots have perhaps the easiest decision in the entire NFL draft. There are 3 quarterbacks that I evaluate in a tier above the rest, in whatever order you want to put them. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake Maye. Take the third. Take whichever one of those 3 is available for you at pick 3. I believe
no question about it.
No question about it. Wouldn't think twice about it because I understand people saying, why not trade back, get a bunch of picks? Ultimately, Dan, you know this better than anybody.
Yeah.
The quarterback is what makes the rest of the offense go, and you can't just keep bypassing getting a quarterback and hoping you'll eventually land on one. That's not how the NFL works. Specific to Drake Maye, I get it. Wasn't a perfect season this past year by any stretch. 2022 was way better than 2023. But I'm still thinking to myself, this is a 21-year-old, 6'4", 230 pounds, has an absolute missile attached to his right shoulder. This kid can manipulate safeties with his eyes about as well as any quarterback in this class. An awesome athlete as well. He led at North Carolina in rushing yards 2 seasons ago. He is a weapon with his legs, and all of a sudden I'm starting to feel like it. Maybe I'm a little bit too online for my own good. The bloom is off the rose a little bit. I'm a Drake Maye fan. I would take him at pick number 3 if I'm the New England Patriots and feel really good about that if he's available.
Yeah, I'm high on him as well, Field. We've talked about it a lot. I really like his traits, the aggression, the tools. I think with New England, though, if you were to end up there, I'm in agreement with Dan. And that's less to me about Maye than it is about the situation. And by the way, I think that offense, which has so many needs, if you do stick and take Maye at 3, you can still add really talented offensive linemen and receivers in the draft. And in Jacoby Brissett, you have one of the better backup quarterbacks in the NFL. So you have a chance to develop. We talk a lot about developing quarterbacks, but you also have a chance to develop those wide receivers, those offensive linemen, if you take a tackle this year. So you have a year where everybody can get better before the quarterback is thrust into that situation, in large part because you made, as much grief as I've given the Patriots for not adding skill players, I think signing Jacoby Brissett was one of the better signings of the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, that gives you comfort, Jacoby. The acting general manager in New England is who?
Elliott Wolf.
Where did he start his career?
Green Bay. Well,
what are they
Green Bay,
notorious for?
Yeah, that's right. Taking a quarterback and sitting him.
Right. So I'm okay with that. That's why, I don't disagree that I like Drake Maye. I love Drake Maye's talent.
Yeah.
He cannot play right away.
By the way, I would be surprised, and I know it's April 1st, we got 5 more months. I'd be floored if Jacoby Brissett was not the Patriots' Week 1 starting quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with that.
When they signed him, that was the intent.
Yeah, and that's why I like him. I like Drake Maye in New England more than I like Drake Maye in Washington. Strictly because of who
the lack of pressure to play, right?
Correct.
Yeah.